unmuted us. We are getting ready for lunchtime live.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. If you're watching, let us know that you're watching.
Yeah, we'd love to hear. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Put your notice in the comments section. So let's hear from you. We are now just a couple minutes out from going live for lunchtime live. We're going to be discussing the subject of this month's birthstone. Yeah. So
all you May babies, I hope you're watching.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about emeralds.
Oh my gosh.
Emeralds.
One of the kings.
Yeah, one of the most amazing gems in the world.
Absolutely.
One of the most elusive gems too.
That's right.
One of the things about emerald that most people don't realize, emerald is literally a geological miracle.
Mm-hmm.
For the elements, the correct elements to be found together in one spot is next to impossible. So in my mind, it's almost like the miracle of God that we even have emeralds.
Yes.
And it's actually one of the gems that has some of the most ancient history.
Yes. Actually, 2.97 billion years is the oldest emerald out of South Africa, which is wild.
That's a long time ago.
It's
probably in some caveman's, like his jewelry.
Yes, it just goes to show you that emeralds have been, sought after for, oh my gosh, thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah.
The Romans, the Incas.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to read you a quote here. It goes back. This was written by Pliny the Elder back in 77 AD. He said this about emerald. He said, "No color is more delightful in appearance, for although we enjoy looking at plants and leaves, we regard emeralds with all the more pleasure because compared with them, there is nothing more intensely green." And that's 2,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so emerald has a very long history.
Right.
And one of the most famous, people in history was a lover and collector of emeralds.
Yes.
Cleopatra.
She was fanatical about them.
Cleopatra was fanatical about them.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you are just joining us, today is lunchtime live tour. We take our live stream that's on our Facebook, that's on our YouTube, that's on our website. So if you want to go to our website, go to artiniangems.com. You'll see the gems on the turntable. You're going to see
our faces.
Our faces on Facebook Live. On Facebook Live. And if you're on Facebook Live, just let us know that you're with us.
Yeah, please put a comment in. Let us know. Ask questions. What questions do you have about emeralds?
Yeah.
Or any gems, as a matter of fact.
My interest in gems goes back, actually, I'm a second generation gem person. My dad, when I was a child, my dad used to disappear for months at a time. He'd come back with bags of gems. He would go to places like Brazil. He would go to parts of Africa, and he would go to Brazil. And of course, Thailand was a famous place back then for gem cutting. But that's where I kind of gained my love for gems. I would just see the adventure and the mystery of it. And I would see these bags, and I try to look at them, and to me, it was thrilling.
Yes, absolutely. And no two gems are alike, really. I mean, if you can get similar gems, but to find the exact same, it's just impossible. It's like snowflakes, right?
That's very, very good. That's a great analogy, like a snowflake.
Yeah.
So we're talking about emeralds today. It's lunchtime live. If you're just joining us, we appreciate you for joining us. And we're going to share with you May's birthstone. We're going to talk about emerald. We're going to talk about some occurrences, where it's from. We're going to talk about
the history,
some of the history of emerald.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about a little bit of the formation of emerald. And then we're going to show you some emeralds on the turntable. These are inventory that we have. And so that just for your knowledge and for your understanding of and appreciation for an emerald.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that everybody knows about an emerald is that they almost never come really clean. Normally there are crystals inside. They even have a word for it in French called jardin, and
Which means garden.
Which means garden. Well, that's a nice way of saying it's full of impurities and other things going on. But emerald, but emerald goes way back in history. In fact,
Yes.
the most famous emeralds back in history were Cleopatra's emeralds. She was known and renowned in her day for a love for emeralds. In fact, in the south of Egypt, there used to be in a very hospitable area where it's desert and mountainous deserts and cactuses and all kinds of horrible things that bite, stick, and sting. There were ancient emerald mines, but they produced mostly bead quality, lower quality. And so she was famous for loving emeralds. In fact, the colonialists, when they came, they looked for and found the mines. They tried to get them going again, but they just
wasn't producing.
It just wasn't productive.
In Egypt.
But now there is another gem that they think might have been confused with emerald,
which we talked about last week.
Yes,
so if all you guys that are following us, you should know the answer to this.
Right.
It is a green gemstone, but it has more yellow to it.
So
very different.
Right. So the emeralds were on the mainland, and there was an island off the coast about very nearby. Zagharat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the name in the Egyptians call it, but the Europeans, when they came down to that area 1,000 years ago, they called it St. John's Island. But anyway, Zagharat, it produced peridot. And so there are people who think that Cleopatra's love was for peridot and not emerald, or maybe both, or maybe they confused them because all green stones were like emeralds, all red stones were like rubies. So
they didn't have the capability to do any type of testing back then.
Exactly. Now today, where do emeralds? Well, let's talk about the formation of emeralds first.
Yeah.
People know. I mean,
cool.
Emerald is It's a silicate. Beryllium silicate,
aluminum silicate.
Aluminum silicate.
Look at it, right?
I'm a gemologist, right?
Not a chemist.
I'm not a scientist. I'm a gem hunter. But it has silicate and it has beryllium in it, and there are formations where gems are often found, and a lot of them are formed in pegmatites, and this is just kind of a minerals that are forced up through the crust, and they crystallize. It's almost called the garbage can of the mineral world, meaning in a positive way. There's all these magical rare elements that are in this formation,
kind of this vein,
in this vein that's produced. And so you'll find aquamarines, you'll find morganites, you'll find occasionally emerald, you'll find sometimes kunzite, you'll find tourmalines. A lot of these gems are formed in these pockets. But if the pocket is rich in beryllium, I mean, because that's one of the main elements in emerald. If it's rich in beryllium, it has the potential of having emerald. However,
there's two other
and what are they?
So chromium is one, and vanadium is the other. So either one can give you that beautiful rich green, and then the slight blue that you may see is actually iron outside of the pegmatite that kind of infuses in within.
Right.
So you can get that beautiful blue green, which is also emerald, but it has traces of iron, which gives it that blue.
Right. So the pegmatite has this beryllium in it, and if it does, and the surrounding rocks, if they have chromium in them, where the two meet is where emeralds, and if you get hydrothermal fluids in there, and it's rich in those minerals and they mix, this is a geological miracle for this to happen. If they mix and they crystallize, you can get these beautiful emerald crystals, beautifully formed. And we're going to show you a couple of beautiful emerald crystals.
So talking about those crystals, that is also why emerald often comes with those inclusions inside. And that's just kind of where it's formed and how it has to be formed. So it's just kind of something that comes with emeralds, and something that is also a beautiful characteristic. You can have solid rock crystals, you can have liquid crystals, very cool, and you can have gas bubbles even in emeralds, which is all natural. Very interesting.
They call them three-phase inclusions.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when you have all three, and that's quite rare. Should we look at some gems?
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's see what we have.
So if you have any questions, just just let us know. Oh, look what we got here. So we have
so fun.
Yeah, we have, first of all, look at this. You can now emerald is a beryl, and there are a couple other gemstones that are in the beryl family.
And if you know what they are, put it in the chat.
Yeah, we've got aquamarines and morganites. Heliodor, those are beryls as well. But look at this one. You can see.
Look at that. Very
cool.
cool.
It's got a bicolor look to it. You can see there are parts of it that have more of the chromium in it, and there are parts of this crystal that have less. Look at that.
Very cool.
This is a beautiful gem from Afghanistan.
Hi, Victoria. Thank you for joining us today. Hi, Ben. Thank you for joining us today.
Look at this. Here's a beautiful rough. This piece of rough.
Now that one is not a fully formed crystal. So obviously it went through like a lot to where it's.
Yeah. They go through a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. Now, when you look at this, you say, how do I know if there's a gemstone in there? Well, number one, it's got to be clean enough. What you use is magnification, and you also use a flashlight to shine it in there to see how you might cut that gem. Yeah, but these are actually from Madagascar. Now let's talk about some locations where they're from. One of the most, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about alexandrites from the Ural Mountains of Russia. Well, alexandrite is also rich in beryllium. And so they have found some alexandrites and emeralds in the same mining area in Russia. That same mine that produced alexandrites also produced emerald.
But alexandrite is kind of like the secondary gemstone that they by chance find. They're mainly mining for emerald.
They were, and they'll find them both. Yeah. Another location, I want to show you this one here. This is a really fine quality Brazilian emerald. Look at this.
Oh my God, look at that green. There is no other gemstone that has that intense, beautiful, pure green.
And look how clean this one is for an emerald.
Wow.
This is a 2.48 carat. And I'm just going to give you an idea on some pricing. This one retails for $24,900. Isn't that gorgeous?
$24,000.
A fine emerald, by the way, is more valuable than a diamond.
Actually, one of the most expensive emeralds that ever sold for twice the price per carat than a diamond.
Wow.
And we're not talking about any diamond. We're talking about high quality, top grade diamond. So that gives you an idea of pricing, right, David?
Right. They're far more rare than diamonds. Now look at this one. This is a 6.46 carat Zambian emerald. In fact, Zambia is possibly, of all colored gemstones, the production in Zambia is the most organized and most large scale production.
But from my understanding, they mostly produce like smaller emeralds. Is that correct?
Yeah, they do. Mostly smaller. They can be really nice material. This is a Zambian. It's 6.46 carats.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, this one retailed for $33,600.
Wow. 33,600.
That's a beautiful gem. Now I'll show you one of the more rare shapes you'll ever find in an emerald. Remember you looked at the rough a moment ago? That long crystal? This is one of the most rare shapes you'll ever find in an emerald. Because when you compare it, look at, so when
jumping.
Yeah, when you compare it, see how long and skinny this crystal is? This long, six-sided crystal?
Oh, yeah.
And then to get around, you have to cut away most of the weight.
Right. You would basically orient it like horizontal,
Well,
right?
horizontal, or what you have to do is you sacrifice a lot of weight.
And you
That's
just cut
why
away.
a round emerald, these round emeralds are almost unheard of. Now, this is a beautiful carat 23, and this retails for only $7,995.
Wow.
But it's quite clean compared to most emeralds that you'll ever see.
Yeah, that's very pretty. Yeah, the color of emerald is just what blows me away. It's just so unique to emerald.
Yes.
And I mean, whenever people talk about the color green, emerald always comes up. It's basically the kind of like the comparison.
Another location for emerald is, of course, we mentioned Afghanistan in the beginning, but Pakistan, the Swat Valley of Pakistan.
That's right.
This is a beautiful crystal, naturally formed crystal from the Swat Valley of Pakistan. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? You almost don't want to facet this. You almost want to
just enjoy it as a crystal.
Yeah, wrap it or cap it and make a pendant out of it. This is fun. This is a carat 33, and it's only $998.
A carat 23.90. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so
really, for emerald, that's quite affordable.
It's actually a really nice crystal.
Very cool.
So let's
thank you, Tammy, for joining us.
So who has a question?
Anybody have any questions regarding emeralds?
Look at this. This is beautiful, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, the color on that one is just so rich.
This is some of the top color of emerald here. This is a carat 2, 1.02 round. And you know, obviously the more intense the green, the more valuable it's going to be. This is 7,734.
7,734. Yeah. Yes. So color is the most important thing when looking at emeralds, is the color of the stone. And then secondary would be what? The cut?
Well, color, the clarity, I think is important. The cut obviously is important, but clarity.
And then of course, carat weight.
I want to show you what they'll do often with emeralds that are not clear. They'll often cut them in a cabochon, which is a domed cut. It's designed to show off color, but it doesn't show off. It's not faceted, so you're not getting sparkle. But this is just a really fun pear shape.
But you have like that beautiful green though, still.
Yeah, it's still a beautiful green.
Right. That emerald green.
Yeah, but most emeralds are going to be cut like in a cabochon or something like that.
Or beads. I've seen emerald beads too. Really nice.
Right. Now I'll show you something that's really quite beautiful. It's faceted. Here's a cushion.
Oh,
this is often more what you would find. This is actually the higher end of the medium grade. You can see that it has some stuff going on inside.
A jardin.
There are some crystals inside.
Which I think makes it so unique. You know, you look at your emerald and you know that that is your emerald. The kind of little birthmarks that it brings from the crust of the earth.
Right. This is a carat 17, and this one retails for $3,140. So you can tell it's quite a bit less, but it's also really beautiful.
So we have a great question from Ben. Ben is asking, do inclusions ever add value to emeralds?
The inclusion, if it's what's called a three-phase inclusion, is fascinating, but emeralds inclusions do not add value to emeralds. No, it's not like a relative gem, another gem which is a demantoid garnet that has what's called
a horsetail.
Yeah, has a horsetail inclusion. Like, for example, with the demantoid garnet with the horsetail inclusion in it will add value. A bicolor tourmaline it's not really an inclusion, but with the different colors will add value. The zoning will add value sometimes.
Well, and sometimes if you get like a rare crystal inside that is unusual, it can add value, and that's in any gemstone.
Right.
It just depends on what kind of inclusion, and where it's located and that sort of thing.
I mean, I have a friend who has a diamond with a ruby crystal inside.
Very cool.
And that adds value. But gems feed our soul, don't they? We get them because they make us feel beautiful, or they make us feel good. We're happy when we wear them. The colors are just wonderful. And we wear them because they're beautiful and they're works of art. And what defines a gemstone anyway?
Right.
It's got to be rarity, beauty, and worthy of setting in jewelry. And so and those are the three things. And so there's a lot of emotion involved. There's a lot of personal preference involved. Sometimes it's not the most expensive gem that will make you the happiest. It's just the gem that has the most meaning to you.
Right. And for some people, that may be where they're located. And there are some gems, some famous gems that have inclusions that look like different things. So some, I think there was one that had a heart-shaped kind of inclusion in it that was very unusual. So people loved that, of course. So just depending on the stone and the inclusion and where it is, it can rarely add value depending on the stone. But a very interesting question. That was a good question.
I mean, people are asking us all the time, well, can we, if we see some gems on the turntable, but can we look at other gems that maybe are not here? So what you can do is you can reach out to us. You can put a message on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or one of the channels, and you could request your own private viewing. Now, if you're a gem lover, what we can do is we can arrange to meet with you and one of our trusted partners in your area, one of our trusted retail partners.
Right.
And then we can show you the gems, and then you can have the gems shipped to the store, and then you can look at them for your final approval, payment, and a custom design.
Yeah, like your own personal gem party.
Yeah. Or if you're a retailer, there are a number of retail stores watching us right now. You can reach out to us and we will show you the gems. We can even coordinate with your clients and help you and your clients to select the right gem. You don't have to know much about gems at all. We're here to support you. We're a resource to you. So reach out to us. We can do group parties. Those are always a lot of fun. We can do private one-on-one showings as well. And you can do that anytime. We're here every day.
Just give us a call, reach out to us.
Yeah. So
we're happy to help you. Why don't we look at some famous emeralds, David?
Oh, okay.
And kind of give people an idea of rarity and price and all of that.
Let's see. Famous emerald. Well, before we do that, let's look at this. I want to show you some rough that we just bought. Let's see. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. I believe you're I believe you're looking at it right now.
There we go.
And let's look at this. These are some emeralds that I just bought, and these are actually from Nigeria.
Really? And Nigeria is not really known as an emerald source.
Well, Nigeria has a lot of gems. I go to Nigeria and I buy, remember we said they show up in the pegmatite area.
Right.
Well, Nigeria is famous for
aquamarine too, of course.
More morganites, golden beryls, and so they've got some emeralds. Now these are a little bit on the lighter color side. Let's see. I'll show you some of those very same gems. I'm going to share my screen. You can see them. These are some of them that are cut. So you can see what my brother-in-law did. So
my gosh, they're beautiful.
Yeah, we have a family cutting business in Thailand. So I go around the world and get the rough. Then I send them to my brother-in-law, his wife, and her older brother. They are world-class gemstone artists. And so they'll take the gems, turn them into a work of art so you can enjoy them. So those are the very gems that you just looked at. These are most of them cut. And then there's a couple of remnants here amongst the rough that we just put there as an example.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Why don't we show them the family of beryl?
The family of beryl. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Since
highlight.
We have some.
Yeah. Let's spotlight this here. Let's look at the family of beryl. Now, beryl is a very interesting family. There's another birthstone.
In the beryl family. That's right. So beryl is emerald. And then look at this light blue, this watery blue. I'm giving you a clue right there.
Anybody want to throw in a guess?
Anybody want to take a guess as to what that is? It is a relative of emerald.
Most people don't think about it.
Right. So that is actually dun da 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 aquamarine.
Aquamarine rough from Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
Now, aquamarine is the same material, but it doesn't have the chromium.
So that's where the difference is.
Yeah, it might have a little more iron in it, giving it the blue.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a piece of rough. And now let's look at something here that was faceted.
Tammy loves that water blue. We do too. It's gorgeous.
Look at that.
Look at that, a faceted aquamarine. Look at how gorgeous
You can see
it comes out.
where we are so proud of our team. We take the gems and turn them into works of art. You know, most gem cutters will cut maybe 20 gems in a day because there's production.
Yeah.
Cutters. Our team maybe does 2 because and this, you're looking at the reason why.
Right.
This is a 4.3 carat aquamarine untreated from Nigeria, and this is only 3,500 retail.
Beautiful, just gorgeous.
Now let's look at another one.
Yeah, let's look at something else in the beryl family.
A different color.
And this is also a gem that is quite popular.
In fact, a lot of people are using this gem in their engagement rings.
Yes, that's a new thing going on right now where they love to put that and set it in rose gold too. Really brings out the color.
This is a 3.5 carat morganite from Nigeria. And this is only 1,260. So you can see, you know, emerald is definitely the king of beryls because
absolutely
because of the color, and an emerald of this size and clarity would definitely be probably closer to 35,000.
Yes, 35,000. You heard that right.
If it was a nice emerald, yeah.
Yes.
So, and then there's one more color I want to share with you in the beryl family. It's kind of a fun color. In fact, this is actually the fashion color of the year. One of the fashion colors
yes, that yellow.
Yellow beryl.
Lillian says, love it. How much do they sell for?
This is a 3.31 carat, only $433.
So there you go. That is a brother or a sister of emerald, and it is called Heliodor or golden beryl, and it's $433. I mean, that's a great price.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. I got that years ago from Brazil.
So very interesting.
Yeah. So do we have any questions? I know that it's your lunch hour for most of you. You don't have a whole lot of time to spend. We just wanted to share our gems with you a little bit and share a little bit of fun knowledge on gemstones with you. And today we talked about emerald locations, occurrences. We share with you the rough. And so any final questions, Stephanie, before we
Let me take a look
off?
and see. I'd love to show them those big emeralds that
Yeah, we don't have somebody else's photo.
Okay.
All righty.
I don't think we have, in emeralds, the darker the color, the better the quality. That's a question from Lillian. That's a good question, yes. So not too dark though, that's the trick, right?
Yeah, you don't want it so dark that you can't see
The
anything.
color.
Obviously, it's sparkle and beauty is king in any gemstone, right? The more it sparkles, often the more valuable it is. Not necessarily, but you know, you want beauty, you want sparkle, you want something that just energizes you, and you look at it and say, "Oh my gosh, that is so amazing."
Let's show one of those gems on the hand. So to answer your question, you need to have the right, what they call saturation, and the right color, so the right hue. Okay, so we're going to highlight my hand here, and we're going to put one of these beauties on my hand so you can see
it gives you
what it looks
an
like.
idea. See, there we go.
Oh gosh.
That's that Brazilian emerald that I was showing you before. So you can see that it's not too dark, it's not too light, and it has brilliance and it has sparkle to it.
Right, so it doesn't have too many inclusions to where it's not going to sparkle.
Now let's give you an example with this other one.
Ooh.
Let's look at this one now. You can see how this one is a lovely green too. It doesn't have quite the sparkle.
Right, so that's due to the inclusions.
Yeah, and so the value is not the same. However, you know, not everybody has the same amount of money to spend on a gem. and they're beautiful. And some people will love the garden in that one. They'll love the fact
The
that
uniqueness.
the uniqueness of it.
Mhm.
And so there you have it. There's some examples of emeralds. So you don't want something that's too dark. You don't want something that's too light. You want something that has just that beautiful
Intense green.
intense green, a
Right.
sparkle to it. It's not too much gray or not too desaturated. You want something right in the middle.
Right. And if it becomes too yellow, then it's not considered an emerald. So
Right.
it has to be the right shade of green. It has to
Right.
be like a nice pure green. It can have a little bit of blue to it or a little bit of yellow to it, but the main color has to be a nice, deep, intense green.
So if we're going to sign off here in a moment. So if you would like more information, if you'd like to reach out to us, feel free to. You don't have to reach out to us because you want to buy something. You just reach out with a question. We're here to help you.
Absolutely. Or if you want to see some other gems, we're here for you. We'd happily show you any type of gem you'd like to see.
Thank you very much for taking your time. And we look forward to seeing you next week on Lunchtime
Live.